Hi guys, it's Sarah with Grassroots Evolution, and I'm here to bring you a monthly message for the sign of Aries for, I keep wanting to say February, January, March. It is April 2020, guys. Keep what you feel is for you, disregard the rest. Know that no matter what messages come today, it's still up to you and how you integrate this guidance. You know, the choices you make and the steps you take in this world to see the fulfillment that you'd like to see in this world. So guys, I apologize that you are the last, but certainly not the least of the zodiacs that I'm getting to this month, and I believe that Spirit offers the messages at the perfect time. So again, take what is for you and disregard the rest. I'm going to call in Spirit. I'm just going to ask Archangel Michael and Metatron to join us to guide, guard, bless, and protect myself, this reading, and any of you who would ask for it, to use me as the clearest channel and to only deliver messages for the highest good of those of you watching. For all my subscribers, guys, thank you from the bottom of my heart for being here, and if you're new to my channel, welcome. At the end, if you feel this has resonated, please feel free and subscribe. Join the journey with me, because it would be wonderful to have you along the ride. Let me encounter your energy more often too. So I'm going to start a message off here today with the Earth Magic Oracle. This is by Stephen Farmer for anyone who is interested. It is an awesome oracle deck, and I absolutely love the messages that it gives. So so we have a few here. Got love and compassion first off, right? And I feel like this is working in togetherness. To work in love. We have emergence, emerging out of, our cocoon or our cave, or potentially too, this is dragonfly, having swam in the depths of our emotions and our heart space for so long that it's time to truly allow ourselves to be seen, to shine, as well as to honor the majestic nature of yourself. For some of you as well, the dragonfly may be a totem. If you are in an area where there are a lot of dragonflies, really pay attention to them, because these are also little fairy messages. We have submerged, an iceberg. There may be a little bit more going on in your situations than have been revealed at this time, as well as with this emergence and submerged. That's kind of like this oxymoron, this duality of what we show others and what we keep inside. And you may see the tip of the iceberg, and there's so much underneath the ground or underneath the water. So I feel like this as well is bring love and compassion to every relationship and situation you encounter, because honestly, you have no idea what other people are going through, right? They will show you a piece of themselves, but only so much, and there's so much that's still buried. And that kind of thing really does not educate us, but it shows even within ourselves, right? What is in our subconscious, what is submerged, what we don't allow people to show, that shows up in they're taking the word right out of my mouth. So we're asking each other to be vulnerable. We're asking ourselves to be vulnerable. And we're asking other people to be vulnerable. Informs, that's the word. A lot of the stuff in our subconscious is going to inform our decisions, right? How we act in the world, how we project our fears, how we project triumphs, jealousy, things like this. How we view the world around us and the experiences that we're experiencing have a lot to do with what is hidden in the subconscious mind, what's hidden down deep below the depths of, emotion. And what's nice is here, there is two icebergs face to face kind of being shown here, and realizing there's always more than meets the eye. And I'm hearing illusion versus reality as well, but this could be that here's the illusion that these giant icebergs are here, but the reality is that they're so much larger. So really, with this dragonfly emerging out of a place of submergence and really allowing ourselves to be majestic in thought and to be majestic in our own worlds, right? To be vulnerable, to be open, and to use love as, I heard, our weapon. Okay, but rather than we don't want to use love as a weapon. For some of you, if love you felt has been used as a weapon against you in the past, this is the time to use your compassion. Rather than being hostile with other people, show them your vulnerability as well, so that it makes them feel comfortable in showing you what lies underneath the surface. So they're asking me for the top, and this is ocean and ebb and flow. a lot of energy of water, asking you to be vulnerable, asking you to realize that the tide comes in, the tide comes out, it moves. Energy and emotion, it's in constant motion. And rather than fighting against this, just move with it. So I'm going to get some other messages here and we'll see how this ties in. Okay, they're asking for one more. The bottom of the deck is childhood and innocence. Some of you as well, if you have children, making sure that we're coming to them with compassion, that we're showing them our true authentic self as well, and teaching them how to handle difficult emotions, being vulnerable with them so they know the true us. We're not trying to hold and save face for them. This doesn't mean, that they need to take on all of the adult problems of the world. We want to restore their innocence and keep their innocence here. But remembering as well that our childhood experiences inform this, right? A lot of the stuff that's hidden underneath the surface. And to remove blockages to becoming whole and emerging as this divine being, we want to bring ourselves back to an innocence where we can be in awe of the world around us. For many of you as well, again, with our children, this is really important to teach them how to handle not only the sunny and blessing days, but the days that are a little bit more difficult in our life. And you have DNA and karma under here, which I also think is interesting, with communion and eagle and sanctuary. For some of you as well, this DNA could be your children, right? This could be information that's passed down through bloodlines as well. And there's so much information stored in our blood, way more than I think they even really know at this point. So this is also making sure that you are healing your karma so that if you are to have children, that isn't stored up in your blood cells and being passed down onto children. But as well, being in communion with spirit, honoring your connection with the divine, and knowing as well that at any point you can connect to your own inner sanctuary. Your cave is this place that you may connect with the divine. It may be out in the open, but this is like this heart of you, that if you're having issues, if you're having trouble, like feeling like you're wanting to be out into the world, it's okay once in a while to just lay low. Stay in your cave, work through your karma, and speak to spirit. Ask spirit, what is the advice that you have for me? And be very willing to listen to what they have to say. So, before I move on to tarot, I'm going to bring a message here from the Sacred Rebels Oracle. And Spirit, what would you have for the sign of Aries, please, for April 2020? I keep wanting to say March. For some of you, you may be dealing with a situation that happened in March. I feel like March flew by so quickly, and April it's almost exited. We're almost in May, and many of us as well, being in quarantine, time is elusive because it's a day, but it's something that our day-to-day lives have been disrupted a lot, and it's sometimes time, the importance of time as well. To remember that time is fluid is what I'm hearing. Just not to stick so tightly to when this message is for, as well as when you're experiencing emotion. When we're going through some of the karma, this is age old. There could be genetic information as well here that's handed down ancestrally that we're working through. And it's like now is the time again to use that compassion and vulnerability to move with the energy of the ocean, as well as some of you may be really, really ruled by the moon. Because there's powerful energy here. As well as you see this here, this reminds me of Moana. The ocean chose her, right? There are those of us who in turbulent times and turbulent emotions feel like we're drowning, and there's others that this is the time to thrive because we know how to work it, right? We know what to do. We know that there is no chance or there's no point trying to stop this from happening. It's more, as it's happening, how does it affect me? And I face it head on. With this submerged, you can see that the water is still. There doesn't mean that, okay, so the water may be still here, but there's danger lurking under the surface, whereas here the danger is real. The danger is evident, right? That there may be some turbulent emotions. So I also feel like if we're with people around us, if they're experiencing turbulent emotions, ask them how you can help them, but understanding too, when people experience this, sometimes they need to be left alone. They need to have time to process as well. So that's that part. Get back to this. Spirit, thank you. Softly, softly, the tender touch. If you can see here as well, she is being divinely guided. There's a lot of emotions here, and I feel like, again, rather than hostility, rather than aggressiveness, realizing that everybody's at a different point of their journey. Spirit's asking me to read a little bit of the book for you. Here we go. And let's see, number 20. So this is also a 2, and for me that's working together. You know, when we're working with our family, our friends, our loved ones, working with them, not against them, and remembering as well that when they're experiencing turbulent emotions, they're relying on you to be the listening person, right? That open ear. So keep an open heart with them as well. If people in your life are explaining or exposing their vulnerable feelings to you, take that as an honorable position and a position of trust. Something we don't want to tell everyone else, right? They've given you that in confidence as well. So the feminine wisdom of gentleness can assist you now. When we are at a point in life where we want to attain greater things but don't necessarily have the proportionally greater supply of energy at our disposal, it is time to work smarter rather than harder. This is the way of the feminine wisdom. However, cultural ignorance of the feminine way currently prevails. We are generally taught that the more force we use, the more we try to make things happen, the more we will achieve. The feminine way is not about force. Nor is it about diving, striving, pushing, or grabbing at what we can do in order to create. It is about inviting what we wish for to come into the space we have provided for it internally in our lives. This method cultivates more energy, causes less stress, and attracts what is desired. It is a manifestation by invitation rather than by will or force. There is an old story that the sun and the wind were debating about who was more powerful. After boasting about the prowess, they made a wager. A man walked down the street with a coat on, and the wind and the sun decided that whoever could force the coat off the man was the most powerful. The wind blew. The wind began demonstrating its impressive power. It blew and caught underneath the coat, pulling it and nearly ripping it right off the man. The man wrapped his coat around himself more tightly to protect himself against the force of the wind. Eventually, perhaps temporarily out of puff, the wind gave up. The sun took over. He shone down, becoming brighter and brighter until the man slipped off his coat, slung it over his shoulder, and walked down the street, quite possibly wondering what was happening with the weather that day. So we're going to move. So that really does tell us though, right? The wind trying to be forceful and cold and showing all its power when the sun just needed to shine its warmth. If we want someone to open up as well, rather than showing all our force and, being angry that they're not explaining themselves or really trying to push what we want to come into our life, this one's saying, gently, allow love to be what attracts to you what needs to come. Allow love to help you emerge as well. And if there is something in this submerged, if you're diving deep into your own self, herd immunity as well, rather than reaching and trying to find it so hard, allow it to come. Ask Spirit to help you and guide you in the ways that you need to go, and then allow this energy into your life. They're asking me to check for an affirmation, so I'm going to do that. Yep. Okay, so there is a healing affirmation here. But after that, this oracle comes with a special message that you've been working very, very hard. You have learned much and accomplished much, but it is now time to change your approach. Let go of any force in your approach to creation now. Everything serves a purpose, and learning the benefit and limitations of more forceful way of manifestation through effort and willpower was a useful lesson. However, if you were to continue with that approach, it would stop working for you, because you are now beginning to create on a far grander scale that is beyond what an individual can manifest through willpower alone. You are individually creating through your healing and art, but also contributing globally to a new consciousness through your own spiritual growth. And that is so important right now. The more we encounter other people as well, everybody's going through their own thing, right? Their own fear, their own anxiety, their own feelings of restlessness, of being cooped up, their own grief, their own hardship, their own joy, their own creative process. Everybody's going through something right now. And rather than pushing for something to happen right now, allow it to come to you. Use that feminine power. So, the affirmation here that might help you is, I shine like the sun, radiant with grace, and all that I desire comes to me according to perfect timing. I relax, believe, and receive through unconditional love. This is now so, right? Relax, believe, receive. Get in center with you and stop fighting against, the tide and the current, and work with it. Work with spirit. At the bottom we have, as well as I say, work with spirit, collaborative dreaming. Some of you may be working on projects with other people, and you're butting heads maybe a little bit on where you think the vision should go. Other of you may be receiving collective dreams. You may be sharing dreams with other people, but really focusing on what your dreams are, because I feel like they're communing with spirit as well. And under there was focus on the light. Focus on the seeds of light and joy that you can create right now. And when you feel a seed of inspiration, you might want to jot it down, write it down as to not forget, but explore all avenues that you are given and that you are drawn to. So last messages I'm going to bring here are from the Nicoletta Sassoli or Cecily Tarot. And we're going to ask for the sign of Aries, please, Spirit. Excuse me. Some tarot wisdom. For the sign of Aries, please. Thank you. Showing up I'm proud. You get your creative self, this wands, this Queen of Wands energy, and this is a Leo, Aries, Sagittarius, so it may be another person in your life, but it could also be you, the feminine aspect of you, if you can, you identify with more masculine energy. But regardless of gender here, this is about being creative and holding what you believe to be dear to you, honoring I heard the sacred creation or sacred process of creation as well. Can you tell me more about this Queen of Wands, please, Spirit? Get the Knave of Wands. Something very fiery and passionate. This Knave of Wands is just learning their creative power, just learning the power of manifestation. And it's like through the darkness, there's something lit, like something lights up. Okay, I'm hearing shit nourishes the garden. Shit's good for the garden, helps things grow. That's what we should look at it when shit happens in our life. I feel like that's kind of in this vicinity too. When things happen in our life, ask, how can I grow from this? What can I do from this? And so for some of us as well, this is expressing ourselves artistically, joyfully as well, but allowing, our roots to stay firmly planted and to allow whatever is meant to manifest to come. Tell me about this Knave of Wands, please, Spirit. Okay, 2 piles. You got the Knight of Pentacles, moving towards something more stable and grounded. You have the Queen of Pentacles, Earth sign quality. So this is Virgo, Taurus, or Capricorn. This could also be, another woman in your life that is a Earth sign, someone who's just very stable, very grounded. Could also be another aspect of you. Some of you may be trying to manifest somebody into your life, and this would be, rather than pushing so hard, just allowing them to come to you. Because again, we don't want to be holding someone captive or, doing all these things to get them here and then realizing, well, I'm always the one who's reaching out. They're never reaching out. Allow those to come to you. Focus on yourself and move towards creating a more stable environment for yourself. We have the Two of Cups, which is totally love here, right? And this is also twinning. This is loving others how we would love ourselves, as well as there's a connection here between the hair. Two alike as well. You have the King of Swords here, so air sign quality. Could be Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. And I feel like this is with the Seven of Wands. Somebody could be kind of watching from afar. There could be false information as well. And I feel like this is somebody maybe trying to understand by stalking social media, by following you. But this, what I feel like is this energy is distorted. It's not the truth, right? And there may also be, like I heard, secret admirer, because somebody's here and they just haven't explained or they haven't talked about it. So there could also be a situation, if it's love and romance in your life, that is about to be discussed and coming to a head, is what I'm hearing. But with this is always making sure that we're in our highest form of thought, in our highest vibration. And I feel like the only tarot cards that aren't out is love, right? Is our heart space. And because that's the overarching energy, the whole reading is love and in partnership, that it takes two. It takes two to create this light. It takes two to nourish a heart space within a relationship, again, regardless of how this is. And we're responsible for how we manifest love in life into our life, right? If we go searching for it, again, in such a hard, hostile way, we're actually doing ourselves a disservice. This is saying, you know what is meant to come to me will in this world. And you have at the bottom Three of Wands, waiting, right? Waiting and taking an active approach. The bottom here, out under that, was the Five of Wands, and then we have the King of Cups, the Devil. And I feel like these are important as well, because there could be somebody in your life who wants to come forward, who wants to express their love. It's hard for them. This person could also, it could be difficult for them to explain or to open up and talk about their emotions. They may be a little bit more in their head, and for them to do this, they need to feel very grounded and stable. And it may not be that matters of the heart are easy for them to discuss. And also with the Devil, you could have a Capricorn in your life. Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn is this energy. So you could have an energy like that in your life. But it's like somebody could be overcoming addictions, overcoming codependencies, and at this point, looking from afar is as close as they can get. But remember, again, that we don't have to chase what we want so hard and so badly, because it will come to us. We focus on us, we focus on the light, we do things in the gentle way, where rather than with force, it comes to us. We shine our light bright, we spread our warmth, and we allow the seeds of life to manifest in the way that they're supposed to. That's what I have for you guys. I love you all, and I hope you have a great month. Bye, guys.